if you are going to, if you are going to add, if you're going to stack, when would you'd stack right now? You'd be buying right now. You'd spend 40, like El Salvador bought 150 at 48 and change. Would you do that?
I think.
Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin. In today's video, I want to share with you the latest news involving Bitcoin, involving Ethereum, involving lower cap altcoins, as well as where we stand right now with the crypto market, looking at the on-chain data. If you're interested in making money with cryptocurrency, click subscribe right now. We drop a video every single day demystifying this cryptocurrency market. Let's jump in. Before we finish this clip of Grayscale CEO providing some inside alpha, some perspective on when is the best time to buy, before this clip, let's look at the data, starting with Bitcoin futures perpetual funding rate on all exchanges has just flipped negative. We like the negative funding. Long time no see, my friend. So let's unpack this. What exactly does this mean? Why do we like negative funding? Trying hard to learn this info. In simplistic terms, this is because shorts are now paying longs to stay open, which is bullish. The bulls are winning over the bears, and this means a potential short squeeze incoming, which drives the price higher. Does not mean we couldn't flip back positive. We will have to pay attention to this metric over the next coming days, but I'll keep my eye on this. And let's keep moving. Let's look at the on-chain data and see exactly who was selling, i.e. who exactly is now out of the market. Assessing the BTC sell-off, Bitcoin hodlers realized the third largest on-chain capitulation in history over the weekend, with over $2.18 billion in realized losses. Third largest ever, and this does confirm some of the data that I brought you a few days ago, that the majority of people that were selling at a loss, which is very interesting. Now, what does this mean? What does this tell us about the type of investor that was selling recently? Because question is, which cohort of Bitcoin hodlers were realizing these losses? Well, if we look at the long-term hodler supply, we can actually see their total holdings are relatively unchanged over the past week. This makes it more probable that the recent dip was caused by recent buyers. The short-term holder metric, on the other hand, shows a very significant losses were realized in this cohort. So short-term investors presumably got a little scared and sold at a loss. And with almost 25% now of futures contracts closed, we can determine that a leverage flush out is the most likely sell side driver. And going further, according to on-chain analyst Will Clemente, the main thing that had me cautious lately was derivatives. Now that we've flushed out open interest, spot investors are in control. Still think we consolidate a bit before moving higher though. So you may be feeling bearish or you may be feeling bullish, but I say data over feelings, the data is pointing bullish. Something to consider. And by the way, always keep in mind, I am not a registered financial advisor. Nobody can see the future, not even registered financial advisors. The point is, do your own research, make your own decisions. The market could absolutely go lower as we chop around, consolidate in the short term. But looking long term and looking at where we are right now with the Bitcoin supply shock valuation, which shows us the activity, the demand for Bitcoin happening on chain in comparison to the supply out there. Because of this last dip, Bitcoin is now undervalued based on the on-chain activity. This model does a look back on previous times Bitcoin had similar on-chain demand. We're currently trading at a decent discount. It's a model for investors, not traders, who can easily be liquidated well before the model plays out. So if you're a trader, it does not mean that we still can't go lower in the short term. Anything can happen. But if you're an investor, based on the activity right now happening on chain, because of this dip, Bitcoin is right now undervalued. Bullish. Give me your thoughts on Bitcoin on the crypto market right now. Give me your thoughts in the comment section. And that does bring us to our final question. Is now a good time to buy Bitcoin or wait? As you may have guessed, the CEO of Grayscale says buy the pullbacks, take a long-term perspective. Watch this.
Would you do that?
I think most investors, at least the behaviors we see at Grayscale, are using pullbacks in price to opportunistically average down on their positions. So especially as we think about institutional investors, the ability to dollar cost average into a position and again, think about it over a longer time horizon, they do often use these pullbacks to build those positions over time.
All right, let's talk about altcoins, including Binance, Ethereum, Algorand, and more. But first, let's take 90 seconds and give a big shout out to sponsor of today's episode, a crypto game called Gods Unchained, having the biggest play to earn event of the year where you can earn real Gods tokens for free, just for playing a game. Now, this is one of the most popular play to earn games out there. I believe most of you in this audience have already played or are already playing the game, but in this event happening now, called Blessing of the Gods, each week you can earn up to millions of dollars worth of Gods tokens just for playing a game. Boom! Here it is. In my opinion, a picture, a visual is worth 1,000 words, and I think this is cool. I think this is actually fun to play, and in my opinion, it is this sort of thing that actually leads to mass adoption, potentially, because you can't even tell this is a crypto game. This just looks like a fun game. And to define it, what is Gods Unchained? Gods Unchained is basically, in simple terms, a free-to-play card game with the goal of accumulating NFTs and items to win battles. And the cool thing is that because it's a play-to-earn crypto game, because it is built on the blockchain, players can actually have real-world control over the items they earn, meaning these are Ethereum tokens, and you can buy, sell, trade them on Uniswap for real money. Looking on the website, as they say, Gods Unchained, the trading card game that pays to play. Play now for free. I will put a link down below in the video description. Check it out, link down below. The company has financing from Coinbase, which is huge, Galaxy Digital, Mike Novogratz's company, as well as Naspers, one of the largest tech investors in the world, backing this game. And it's also led by Chris Clay, who is the former game director of Magic, the Gathering Arena, who has had success in gaming before, and now they're all sort of just coming together for Gods Unchained. I will link this down below in the video description for more information. Check it out. And that brings us to the free event happening now, Blessing of the Gods, the biggest play-to-earn event of the year. Mortals, we're hosting a series of play-to-earn events this month and through the rest of the year, where both early supporters and new enthusiasts have the opportunity to earn Gods tokens, the primary currency for our ecosystem. If you want to start earning, you'll need to play at least 20 or more ranked games, win 7 or more of those ranked games, earn at least a certain level, purified iron, as well as a few more qualifications, and at the end of each week, Gods tokens will be dispersed to the players that earn them. Check it out, link down below. And for a full analysis on how you can take advantage of this play to earn event, there is a dedicated video from me linked down below. Check it out. Okay, next up, let's talk about Ethereum. OpenSea hires new CFO from Lyft, plans IPO. So Brian Roberts, their new CFO, says he wants to raise more funds for OpenSea's booming NFT marketplace, and he also has plans to take it public with an IPO. So their new CFO, besides coming from Lyft, what other major companies has he worked with? Roberts has worked as global head of corporate development at Microsoft before joining Walmart for 3 years to lead its mergers and acquisitions teams. And while the new CFO has no prior experience in the crypto industry, he told Bloomberg that the emerging Web3 and NFT sector in particular recalls mid-90s eBay. Interesting analogy. But my next question is, if his goal is to raise money, what's the money going to be used for? While Roberts acknowledges that OpenSea isn't in need of any funding to survive, his roadmap for the future entails raising extra investment, which the company could then use for acquisitions and partnerships to promote the growth of the NFT sector. And of course, this is all on the Ethereum chain, which is very bullish for Ethereum. And Roberts also hinted that an OpenSea IPO may soon be on offer, meaning that equity in the company could soon be sold to the public on a stock exchange for the first time ever. He even said, with the NFT platform's growth, you'd be foolish to not think of going public. So good news for Ethereum, as well as good new hire for OpenSea. Next up, what about Binance? Binance plans to become a registered UK firm despite regulatory setbacks. So the exchange's CEO, CZ, says it does plan to expand to the UK in the next 6 to 18 months, despite being ordered by the country's regulator to cease trading in June. So basically, the world's largest exchange by trading volume, Binance, years ago entered the UK the wrong way. They did not get regulatory acceptance compliance. They were kicked out, and now Binance says they want to enter the right way. To become a registered crypto asset firm in the UK, the platform must abide by money laundering and terrorist financing controls. To meet these requirements, CZ indicated that the company was considering setting up a specific company to run the UK, in the UK, similar to its Binance.US subsidiary. So much like Binance.US, we may be seeing a Binance.UK in the future. And next piece of news for all you OGs in the space, involving Craig Wright, who claims to be Satoshi Nakamoto. Craig Wright found not liable for breach of Kleiman business partnership. A jury did rule that Wright must pay $100 million to W&K Info Defense Research, basically the people that were suing him, but cleared Craig Wright of all other charges. Craig Wright, found guilty of stealing his dead partner's assets, fined $100 million for stealing those assets. LOL at the people who think that getting hit with a $100 million jury verdict for conversion stealing is a win. So innocent on some charges, guilty on other charges. For those new people in the space, if you're wondering who is Satoshi Nakamoto, are his claims valid, the truest test, which we have yet to see from anybody, would be to sign or make a transaction in those original Satoshi Nakamoto wallets, which Craig Wright refuses to do, which does tell us, and it does tell the majority of the crypto community, if you can't sign a transaction in those original wallets, then you're probably not Satoshi Nakamoto. Give me your thoughts down below. And next up, very quick piece of news for Algorand. We've covered this a little bit before in the past. I do have an update. Miami becomes the first US city to deploy air quality monitoring network based on the Algorand blockchain. So this is a big win for the air quality in Miami, as well as a huge win for the Algo blockchain. There will be sensors around the city detecting the intensity of air pollution in the area, and of course, because it's on Algorand, the data collected by the sensors will be recorded on the Algorand blockchain, making it tamper-proof and permanent. So big win for Algorand. That is the video. My name's Austin. Like always, see you tomorrow. Appreciate you.